Hey guys, it's Simon from Sunraysia Home Loans. Just doing a quick video today on how to make an offer. We get a lot of questions in here at the office from clients desperately asking how do we win? How do we get the house? What is the best way for us to secure this house that we're in love with? So I've written down my top 5 rules of playing the game. And I probably should use that term pretty loosely that it's no longer a game. It used to be that you could play a little bit of a game with a real estate agent. It was quite fun to go through and say, look, I'm looking at another house on the weekend, might be interested, might not be. It doesn't work anymore. There's a lot of people that are lining up at that house behind you. There's probably 5 to 10 of them lining up behind you. So it's about putting your best offer first and really thinking about what you would not want to miss out on. So, okay, if I'm offering $300,000 for this house, am I happy to miss out after that? Or is my top offer $350,000 and I'm happy to miss out after that? So what is it that you're willing to pay before you miss out? And if you can answer that question really honestly to yourself, then generally that's going to either get you the house or you might be in the wrong price bracket if you keep missing out. It is really hard out there at the moment. It's a really hot market in Sunraysia, so it is hard to secure the homes. So I've got a top 5 tips today of how to play the game, as I mentioned. The obvious one is money. Obviously, if you're the person that's offering the highest, sometimes that can be enough for the vendor to say, yep, great, you're in, I'll sell my house to you, let's go. But it gets a little bit harder than that because the banks are slow and it's hard to get finance at times. So vendors may have had, or the owner of the property may have had someone that's had finance falling through before. So if your offer is subject to finance, which we highly recommend, they may pass up on your offer because you're subject to finance. There may be someone else that has the cash to pay for that property. So other than money, my second tip is to offer subject to finance. And that's more to protect you. So with a subject to finance clause, it means that you're offering to say, I want your house, but it's subject to me finding finance approval or being approved for a loan. We do recommend 21 days for your finance approval. So 21 days for us to assess your loan or for the bank to assess your loan through us and to come back and say, okay, your loan's approved. If your loan isn't approved at the 21-day mark, you may be entitled to an extension and the vendor may say, yes, we'll give you another week, which is great because it means that legally you're actually still locked into that contract, but you're also still covered by that finance clause. If your finance isn't approved, you will receive a refund of your deposit in full if you abide by all the other clauses in the contract. So that's a really important one. The third one is pest inspection. So we have a lot of termites in Mildura, a lot of pests. So we have a lot of pests in Mildura too. So we have a lot of termite problems. So under the soil in Mildura, most of the properties are built in old fruit blocks that have been redeveloped into housing estates. So when the termites are finished eating all that root system and subsystem, they tend to come up through and find the really nice new pine or timber, or even some of the older houses. So it's really important that you get those pest inspections done for a couple of $100. They're worth the weight in gold. You may find some termite damage, to old fence posts and things in the gardens, but if you're finding damage in the house that amounts to quite a large amount of cash, you are also able to pull out of that property. So finance and pest are a must. Building inspection is my 4th one. So if you're looking at an older house, it's always great to have someone look over that house. It is the biggest investment you'll make. So financially, it's worth the $500, $600, $700, $800 it's going to cost you for that building report. And you'll get a really comprehensive report come back of what's wrong with the property, what things need to be done. And it might just be little things that aren't structural and you might say, great, I'm glad I had someone look, I'm still going to purchase. Or it might be that the builder comes back and says, look, there's $20,000 of repairs to be made because someone didn't build their pergola properly or they've done a renovation incorrectly. And at that stage, you are able to pull out of the contract and receive the full refund of your deposit. So the 5th one, which people probably don't really give much weight to this, and it's actually probably one of the most important ones, think about what the vendor wants. So think about what the owner of the house wants. Ask the real estate agent, does the vendor want a quick settlement? Do they want a short settlement? Are they flexible? Because it might be that they're building their own house and they want some flexibility for you guys as buyers to say, look, I'm okay to buy the house and move in whenever the vendors are happy for me to. So it leaves it as a bit of an open-ended contract. You will still put a date on there, usually 90 days or 120 days to have a really long settlement, but you might have a clause in there to say that you can settle prior by agreement from both parties, which is great because it offers the vendor flexibility. So don't treat that clause as something that's really just a date. It actually has a bit of weight to it for the vendor, and it might be that they are on the other end of the scale want a really quick settlement. So you may be able to offer, hey, I've had my pre-approval, my loan's pre-approved, I'm ready to go. I want a really quick settlement, and the vendors want a quick settlement, so let's do this. And lastly, to add a bonus tip in here, it could be that the vendor is still looking for a house and they haven't found something. So you may offer them to buy their house and then rent it back to them and lease the house back for a month or two to offer some real flexibility for them. And it might be that you offer less money for that house, but give them the terms they like. So I know the video's gone on for a little bit, but it's really important because making an offer is not a small thing. It's a big investment in your future, and real estate is quite hard to get into at the moment. So hoping these tips you found really helpful. As always though, feel free to call into the office, send us an email, shoot us something on Facebook. We're more than happy to go through on an individual basis with property by property. We can offer property reports to help you with the offers as well. So those property reports tell us the sales history of the property and also an estimated value of today's value in today's market. So that can be really good in helping you to make an offer. So as always, great chatting to you guys, and feel free to touch base on the Facebook page or send us an email, but I hope you enjoyed. Thanks guys, bye.